Okay, do you know who like that Lovecraft guy is?
H.P. Lovecraft?
Yeah, what the hell is he about?
He was just some writer who wrote creepy stuff. He made Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's what he was known for, ain't it? So you know how like the Illuminati and like all those like big conspiracy theories are like super famous?
Yeah.
Like what if that's just like the strategy to make them not think it's real? Like do you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, like there's, for example, the flat earth theory. Everybody makes fun of that because it's so ridiculous. And I'm not saying I believe it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start actually looking into it, and that's one of the things on the list, it actually there's some things that start to make kind of sense.
Okay.
And they say like they like blew it up super big so that way people wouldn't believe it, or less people would believe it or question it or anything like that.
Maybe that's just like to weed out all the stupid people, the smart people. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe. Although most of the people I've seen who legitimately believe in the flat earth
are like pretty
come off
fucking
as really
like
dumb.
crackhead motherfuckers, yeah.
Yeah, but like, for example, this is just one of the things I remember from watching videos. There was a flight from the Philippines to...
I'm Philippine?
You are.
Yeah,
From
okay.
the Philippines to LA. And a woman on the flight was pregnant, went into labor. And so they had to make an emergency stop, but they were over the Pacific Ocean. So, but they were right at the point where they were pretty much equal distance away from LA as they were from Alaska.
Alaska.
So, but instead of, and they were like equal distance away, but instead of going to LA, they were already on the path to LA. They detoured completely, took a left straight to Alaska.
Why?
And if you look at a flat Earth map, the Philippines and Alaska are like a direct straight line from each other. So
fuck.
That's one of the things that I remember the most. And they say like, and part of the flat Earth theory is like Antarctica is just a big ice wall around. It's interesting how they won't let you can't go to Antarctica by yourself. You have to have like a team of people there, and even they won't let you go in that far. Because they say because it's so cold and nothing's out there and whatever, but maybe it's just because that's the edge of the planet. And also, this isn't really related to the flat Earth thing, but it's related to it there being like something out there they don't want us to see. There's a story of a guy, a pilot from the 1940s, World War II, of a fighter, and they were flying close to Antarctica. I can't remember if it was South Pole or North Pole. I think it was South Pole. And he got separated from the other people he was flying with in the fighter jets or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost signal with him, and then all of a sudden, and he was going way off course, and then all of a sudden he goes through some clouds, and there's a huge green meadow, tons of trees. He lands, but he's not landing, but it lands. The ship lands, or the plane lands. And these really tall people, 9 foot, 10 foot people, who kind of look like your stereotypical
giant
sci-fi. No, but it's hard to explain.
Like Slender Man?
Like the Time Machine, which I know you haven't seen that.
What the fuck?
Not they look like normal people. They were just tall and they had blonde hair and were all super strong and fit.
Okay.
And and they took them out, and there was a ton of animals there too. And I can't remember the rest of the story, but then he ended up going back safely. And I don't remember if that's just a completely fake story, or if people don't know if that was an actual guy. I think that was an actual guy who said that happened to him. But
it's so weird.
It's weird. I think it's definitely possible that there's something, even if the Earth isn't flat, which I don't think it is. But I think it's definitely possible there could be something that really tip of the poles.
Yeah, see that reminds me of there's a show on Netflix called Children of the Whales, and I heard it was good, so I watched some of it, and basically think of this as us as a human race. So basically long ago we were outcasted for whatever reason that's forgotten. Mm-hmm. And just throughout our history we forgot it. We forgot why we were outcasted.
Outcasted from where?
That place with the 9 foot people, kind of like that. We were outcasted, we were changed, and that's why we could be different from them, kind of like that. And eventually and then there's only certain people that know about you know, those 9-foot people, that outside world, like whether it be like the government or something like that, and they're trying to hide us from them because we are still considered like outcasts or like illegal or criminals to them, like kind of like that. That's basically what that show's about, and I think it was kind of good, but there's only one season, so yeah.
Interesting.
But like, what if the world was like that? How like, yeah. But like, so like, what about like, so you know how like people always like make fun of the government and say like they're always hiding secrets and shit? And
Which
of course,
they are.
Yeah, they are. But like,
Obviously.
how do you get in that circle? And when you need to be like replaced and you retire, what happens to you?
Yeah, that I'm not sure, because I don't even think, because like JFK asked for
Like
to see the U.S. things, and they or the UFO things, and they wouldn't give it to him. So the president doesn't.
Yeah, not even the president. Like, who are those people that have no right to? Like,
and who are the people that gets to actually go and work
like,
at Area 52 or 51? Sorry, it's 51, right?
Yeah, it's 51. But like, what happens to them? Do they? Because like, if they just want to retire, they're gonna have to be under so much surveillance so they don't give away the information, or like they might as well just be killed. And like, how do you get new people in this circle of?
Unless like you have to like swear that you will, like they don't tell you exactly what's going on, but they say we have this job for you, but you have to swear to work on it until you like die.
Oh yeah, like that.
Or be a part of it until you die, and we can't tell you what it is until you accept. And once you accept, you have to.
You're
stick
in it
with
forever.
it.
Yeah.
And if you try and get out, we'll end you, or we'll do some bad stuff. So and like there was a phone. This reminds me of a phone call of some guy who apparently worked at Area 51, who just like called a random number, I think, and he was like freaking out and babbling on about how all the alien stuff is at Area 51. They're watching me. They're coming for me, and the call like abruptly ends right as he's about to start something else, and like, so that's creepy. That could definitely be fake, but I am.
It's so weird. Yeah, like all the like nuclear like stuff, all the nuclear missiles and like aliens. That's all like in Nevada or Arizona, right? Like that's where Area 51 is. It's one of the two, or is it New Mexico? I feel it's in New Mexico.
I think it's in Nevada because Super Mega went there and.
Oh yeah.
They went to the outside and.
Yeah, and they got straight booty raped by aliens. No, but like, yeah, cause like, and like. Even if, like, we do have aliens, we're not holding them hostage. There's no way we're holding them hostage. Because, like, if the aliens came to us, they're obviously more advanced. So why would you hold on? That's just, like, suicide for, like, a human. Yeah. Like, is it, like, so do you think, like, if we had proof of the aliens, like, why would they even keep it, a secret? I don't see any wars breaking out over.
I heard the theory that involves war that is once if we found out that if everybody found out that aliens are real, then that might stop us from all going to war with each other. Yeah. Because we'll all unite again
intergalactic
as one human race.
Yeah.
And war makes a lot of money for the governments and all of them. Yeah. You know, like guns and all that, like all that stuff they have to make, and
we need your money, fam, for my missiles.
That could be a reason why I found the Area 51 employee call. If you want to listen to it.
Yeah.
Fine, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look. Let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really, really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharge.
I started getting...
So, could be fake, but it was an actual radio station. Could have been just some guy calling in.
Yeah. Could have been just like a random crackhead.
You'd think, because you'd think if it was real, he'd say more specifics, like what they look like, what they want.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of said what they want, but
not take over the universe, fam.
And also, like, what the safe areas were. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't really go into
the safe area is Canada, guys. Canada.
Maybe they are the really cold places. Maybe the safe areas are the place that, like, the green meadow place with the tall people that the government also knows about, and they could tell us about, but they're not gonna because of probably because ties back together.
Like, see, like, you know, like the safe places, like, because I was this actually, like, so fuck, I can't talk, but like I was watching a movie called like Contagion, had Matt Damon in it.
Yeah, I've heard
and
that.
Like people were throwing, basically in short, people were throwing riots, like because everyone wanted this vaccine to this disease, right? And like they all were like calling out all the federal like politics and like the what's that one, the disease control center, like
CDC.
CDC. They were calling all those agents, all those workers there, claiming that they would get the vaccine first. So like maybe if this like the like what he was talking about, like the safe place thing was right, maybe like only like, you know, politics, only like big world leaders would go there, and like
the important people.
Yeah, only the important people. What's the point of important people if you have no one to like rule over? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because then you're not important anymore.
You're not important. You're just like everyone else.
And money wouldn't matter.
Yeah, money wouldn't matter. I think that's a big factor that like the government, like the world, like high class people like are always on watch of like the value of money. I like, you know, kind of like that, because you know when like Bitcoin was on the rise for like 2 months. And, like, people became just spontaneous billionaires off that stuff. So, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting stuff.
Like, how do you even, like, work for... Like, see, what I think is that everyone is being watched. Not, like, watched, like, with, like, binoculars, but, like, academically and, like, kind of like that. You're being watched by the government. And if they see you're special...
I mean, that wouldn't be hard to do. So.
Yeah. But, like, if they see you're special, they'll take you in. Like, you probably have to be hecka smart.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, because like even when Matt and Ryan went to Area 51 and there was like the white truck watching them. Yeah. On the hill. Mm-hmm. But that even then the gates was like 6 miles away from the actual base. Yeah. Do you think the people in the truck or the people in like the little gates even know what's going on in there? Probably not. I think.
No, I wouldn't think so. Like because security people are always like under the shade of like. They just do what they're told. Yeah. You know, like, you have to defend this area for, like, you know, you don't really question it. That's your job. You know? Yeah. Like, I'm curious on how you get into that circle of, like, the secrets of this freaking world, you know? Mm-hmm. And, like, back to that flat earth theory, you know? Like, maybe that is real. Maybe it's, like, I absolutely think it's fake. I just think it's fake. Yeah, me too. Because, like, if I ever become an astronaut, I look down, and I see it's fucking spinning. It's a globe. I'm going to tell everyone. I'm not going to hide it.
Yeah, there is one thing that's interesting is that every single picture we've gotten of the Earth is all through NASA.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
And except, I'm not sure.
That's not surprising. That's all through NASA.
No, it's not surprising, but like Elon Musk launched his thing into outer space. Was that like through, that was probably, he had worked out something out with NASA though, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because the stream of the camera from outer space
Gets like fucked up probably.
well, you've seen the angle, like it's in the car and he's got the astronaut suit or whatever, and there was a point, I can't remember when.
Yeah, I've seen parts of it.
Where for a split second it like
Cuts out.
the background, the car was still there, but the background flashed, and there was like, it looked like a studio room almost. It looked like there was like a ton of lights, and it looked like it was fake.
Yeah.
That was actually debunked. I can't remember what the debunk was, but that wasn't true, and it might have just been Elon Musk messing with us because he likes to do that.
Fucking cunt, rich cunt.
Saying like, "Ooh, this is actually fake," but
He's gonna make Transformers, bro. He's gonna make Transformers real.
I think it's real. I don't see any reason why, because he actually launched a thing and actually came back down, and we actually saw it like leave the
Atmosphere.
I mean, unless it left the atmosphere.
Unless they
behind,
just shot the giant,
behind,
unless they shot like just a random shit
and
into
also,
the Earth or something.
Wouldn't it, if the flat Earth thing was true? Wouldn't it? I'm not sure if how space works with the flat Earth theory, but
I was thinking about that.
Wouldn't it come back down?
Yeah, wouldn't it? Yeah, it wouldn't stay up there.
Yeah, unless there is like space in the flat Earth theory. But I've heard some flat Earthers say that they think the reason of gravity is because the Earth is moving up constantly, and that's why things fall. But that doesn't explain like planes or helicopters.
Yeah, because those things wouldn't
we
probably wouldn't be able to jump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so I don't believe that. Definitely not.
So I
think if the flat Earth was real, then space still exists, but it's different than what we think it is.
Back to the employee call. They said they were extra dimensional.
Yeah, he didn't say. He said the aliens we're talking about, they're extra dimensional.
Because
that would mean that they're not from this dimension. So they're not just from other planets. They're from a different dimension.
Yeah, they're like fourth dimension.
Fourth, fifth, whatever dimension, and
and that stuff's just weird because you can't comprehend that.
That ties back into religion. They say
wait, what? How?
Because they say God lives outside time.
Oh yeah.
Which that literally means, by definition, he is a fourth dimensional being, or later, or or more dimensional.
There's in Hindu and Chinese religions, there's a bunch of different, they call them divine beings or beasts or something like that, and they're if you look upon them, you will literally go crazy because you can't comprehend how they exist. There's this thing called the Bahamut, and it's this giant fish. It's in Hinduism, and it's called Hinduism. Anyways, it's a giant fish. The Bahamut is a giant fish, and the world rides on top of it. And eventually, more specifically, the universe rides on top of it. And if we were to get out of our universe and look at the fish, we'd literally go absolutely insane because of how big it is. So there's been a bunch of stuff how we can't. People make stuff, or I want to say make stuff up because that's kind of offensive to religions. They make stuff that that are just out of our comprehension.
Yeah. Yeah, every religion has sort of.
And I think, I don't really want to get into religion, but I think that's, kind of, I want to say, a marketing strategy, but, kind of, their gold card of, you just gotta, it's,
because it's,
it's just beyond our, you just gotta trust,
you can't prove us wrong if we
because
say
if we can't prove it ourselves.
If we can't prove it ourselves, we can't prove it them.
Yeah, because, I feel, but anyways, I don't really want to get into religion, but, that's just a little brush on that, that's how I feel. But, throw out the flat Earth theory. How I asked you this before, but how far do you think fucking aliens are if they're real?
Well, I have no idea, but they say other planets in our solar system or near in solar systems close to us that they haven't found a planet that could occupy alien life, which because there's no this or that, but. That is so weird to me why they would say that, because who says that aliens need oxygen, water,
exactly
to exist?
Exactly.
Why it's
why is that because I don't really know how that works. I don't really know how we were creating how it works, but I'm just gonna talk as this comes to me
because plants don't need oxygen, they need carbon dioxide.
Yeah, but for all we know, if we rearrange ourselves like on a molecular like level and chemically and like in our different ways, could we turn ourselves into potentially something that's out there? Because like when the universe exploded, it just put a bunch I think it just put a bunch of shit together, and then we happened, right? If we just put all that shit together in a different way, couldn't we replicate something that the Big Bang made?
Yeah, like, because like, how do we know that like any aliens don't have stuff that we don't, or how do they don't have that stuff? How do we know they don't have stuff that we do not have, like particles or cells or something like different? Like that's what makes them. Well, I don't know. That's weird. That gets into more like extra dimensional stuff. How do we know that they're not made of different stuff than we are?
Yeah, let's just watch a bunch of like TED Ed. Do you know what TED Ed is?
Like TED Talks?
Yeah, just TED Ed Talks, all that fun stuff, and then you'll get it. No, you won't. But like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I watched one like, they're trying to figure out there's a machine that like, levitates one single atom, and like what it does is it spins it around super fast, and then they stop it. And then they look at the atom, and it's like if it lost like electrons or mass or something like that, it means that there's like another dimension. Because like I was reading it, and like there's a theory out there that like there's other dimensions out there, but they're just really small. And like we're in like a small dimension and a bigger one and a bigger one, and like basically like their theory was if we spin this single atom around and it's missing like mass or something like that, where does that mass go? It has to be smaller, right? Because like it chips off, and that like theory is that it goes into another smaller.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I just watched out during lunch when I was like bored in school, so. But yeah, that's weird. Like, you know, like crop circles. Like I thought, you know, like it's just like some random patterns that showed up, like overnight. Like anyone could have done that. That's not like super special, right? But like apparently there's like some crop circles where if you stand just outside of it, your phone works, your laptop works, but right when you step in it, it's just all static.
I've heard that.
And that's just weird. Like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, I don't know about that place. I don't know, like, because it's like it's 3 volcanoes, right? That like make up the border, the points.
I don't know actually.
Underwater volcanoes. I think I could be wrong, but is there actually any weird stuff that goes on there, or is it just like this place is unlucky because there's a strange amount of planes that have gone down here, or like boats that have gone missing?
Yeah, is it just like luck, or is there actually something going on there?
Yeah, or is it just like
it's just yeah.
This just happens to be the place where it's
because like
more than anywhere
I
else.
think I saw this on Google, like on like the Google News thing, like on your phone sometimes you see that.
Yeah.
And like it said scientists have figured out what happens in the Bermuda Triangle. I'm like, that's fucking fake. I'm not gonna look at it. But now I looked at it not even a couple days ago, more like a couple weeks ago, and apparently like their thing was like electromagnetics and like some like weird storms or something like that. Because like the reason why they crashed for like the last recordings of like most planes, like their equipment's going out of gear or like out of whack. And it's not working. So like they say it's molecular magnetics, electromagnetics, and like all that fun stuff, and that's why they crash. So like yeah, but like not even like if we just take out the subject of outer space, there's still a lot of weird stuff that just goes on down like here. Like
even not weird stuff. How much of the ocean we haven't explored? Like
yes,
that's not like
exactly.
weird. That's just we haven't explored it. There could be some and like what really creeps me out about that is like these giant blue whales or not blue whales, but like there's whales that what they do is they dive super deep and then come back up, and like that's just how they live their lives, I guess.
And just do what they want.
Some of them, just do whatever they want.
What are you gonna do?
And some of them come back up with like these giant like wounds on them or marks on them.
Yeah.
Like that alone is just like, what did that to them? Because they're like huge. They're like the whales are like the biggest thing there is, and like.
And if something beats the shit out of that, what? Yeah, like, see, because like you know how like they say like we evolved from like a lizard or something.
Hold on. Yeah, keep talking.
And it was like so like a lizard and like or not a lizard but like a fish that went on land and eventually adapted and grew arms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What if whatever, like you said, like what if whatever's beating up those whales eventually does that? That's how Godzilla was probably like. That's how you make a real life Godzilla, man. See, like, but like in every like legend of like Loch Ness monster, like even like Cthulhu or like the Illuminati or like dragons, there's just like that hint of truth, like that sparks the idea, right?
Or unknown, like we don't really know what's down there. Could be real.
Yeah, like
That's why everybody latches onto it.
it's so weird. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. And like honestly, if you think about it, like you'd think that we have like documented and like basically taken over the whole world. Like as a human race, we've taken over the whole world and we know everything about it. But we really don't. Like that's so, and I'm not even talking about like underwater, just like on land. If
land-wise, we gotta be close.
yeah, we have to be close, but like there's just those like Amazon jungles, fucking jungles in Africa, and like if they manage, like even in like America, they manage to somehow hide nuclear tests from us.
They don't test them in America.
They test them like
They don't drop nukes in America. I mean,
well, like they manage to hide that from us.
Yeah.
Like whether it be in the ocean or whether
Yeah, I mean, like they do definitely drop missiles in the ocean and stuff. Like the whole, or I was on Reddit and I just read a story about some guy who saw like something really long just go into his head and fly into the ocean, and it was probably a missile. So that was weird. But like the big like explosions that people hear off of the, we watched videos about this with Zach, that people hear off the Atlantic coast and stuff like that, or the big like sky
trumpets.
Yeah. We watched that.
Oh, did I tell you? Oh my.
Yeah,
goodness.
you told me that you thought you might have heard one when you like walked out of your house.
I think it like three. What's today? Thursday, right? No, Saturday. What the? I thought it was Thursday. I think it was last week Thursday.
Last week, wow.
I was walking out of my house to I don't know. I don't even know. Just walking out of my house, probably to get mail or something, and I hear like a horn, right? And like it's an air horn, like beep beep beep, and I'm like, who the heck's like doing that? I go to my mailbox. I see this guy on the other side, like down at his property, just doing these like little beep beep beep, and it's really fucking annoying. And I'm just watching him, and I'm walking away, and like a train horn, or not even a train horn, even bigger than that, like a ship horn. That I hear that as I'm walking away, right before I get in my house. I just hear that. I'm thinking to myself, who the hell, what retard would fucking do that around here? And I go back to and I see the guy like down by his property with the horn. I see him and he's looking around like, what the hell was that? He even has like two of his other friends looking around, and like they get like, and like they have like ATVs, right? And so they like get on their ATVs and start like riding around their property, and like they even come up on the main road and start riding around looking for it.
What the heck?
Like it was so loud.
Stuff like that's never happened to me like here or my old house or anything.
Yeah.
Like that's weird.
It was
just because you're like kind of away.
Yeah, I'm kind of
stuff.
like out there.
Yeah.
And like, ugh.
Or maybe somebody else was annoyed by them and it's like, I got a bigger horn.
Show you my horn, bitch. Like this was so loud, just like unbearably loud.
Dang, creepy.
But yeah, like there's a lot of stuff. Oh, yeah, let's move on to dreams.
No, sure, yeah, I had something else, but...
Okay, wait, no, let's go to yours, because mine's like really quick.
Yeah, I was gonna go to the fake moon landing thing.
I've seen that. I've seen so many things on there. Like the footprints aren't the same. There's numbers, like as if they're props.
There's a rock that has like a C on it.
Yeah.
And the fact that if they said like if a ship or a spaceship were actually to land on the moon, they would make like a crater because of like
how dust and
no gravity and like. So it would just
that
land.
thing would weigh way more than it. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It'd make like a giant crater. There'd be a ton of dust. There's absolutely none of that if you see the video. And that's like maybe, but like stuff how there's no stars, which maybe could be explained. But what was it? There
no stars?
Have you seen the footage?
Oh wait, no, that yeah, there's no stars.
It's just black.
Yeah, it's just black. Which isn't possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe the cameras they were using, it didn't pick up light that from that far away. I could see that being explained, maybe.
Yeah.
But the thing about the only light should be from, the Earth. Well, the Earth should be the only light, but
well, no, the sun.
Well, isn't this when from the moon's point of view, the sun be on the other side of the Earth, so you wouldn't be able to hear, or you wouldn't be able to see?
Wouldn't it just depend, like,
well,
where the sun and Earth are?
Maybe, but the point is, there should be only light coming from in one direction. Really.
Yeah.
But
yes.
There's multiple shadows.
Yeah.
There's a shadow going
yeah.
that
You should
way,
have a shadow just going one way because. Yeah. Wait. What the.
There's shadows going all over
What's
the place.
What's even the point of faking that landing? What? There's like some
because
Cold War history behind that, right?
Gotta be. And there's like, we just want to say that America did it first.
Just for bragging rights.
The flag. This is the big one. The flag is waving.
There's no wind in outer space.
There's no wind, and there's no reason. And they say like, their excuse is, oh, it's just the flag's been rolled up for so long, and it's just like unraveling.
That's
if you look
literally
at the video.
It's like, literally.
If you look at the video, it's like waving, but it doesn't look like a flag would wave like outside. It looks like some big fan like blowing.
Yes, exactly. It's all straight. It's straight.
Yeah, it's like straight. Yeah.
That doesn't.
But it's flapping around, kind of.
Yeah, and if it's because like my excuse, if I were them, I'd be like, oh, we put metal rods on the top and bottom of it to make it. But no, it's waving. You can't do that. There's no wind in outer space. You're just a dumbass. What if like NASA's just dicking around?
I totally, because like back when it first happened, if you said like the moon landing was fake, everybody would call you an idiot because
it was just like
because people saw it once and then people never saw it again, and it was just an amazing like thing to see. Everybody was just so excited. If you said it was fake, you'd be laughed at.
But now you look back, yeah. With the more technology we have, like we can enhance it.
In movies and stuff, you see the stuff we can fake. Like back then, and they say like the guy who faked it, or they hired to fake it, was Stanley Kubrick, this huge director from back then. He did 2001: A Space Odyssey, like a year before the moon landing. So of course they would get him.
Yeah,
too.
Definitely.
Because the special effects that in that movie are still really good for today's standards. So. Even though it's weird how, well, he probably didn't have as big of a budget for the moon landing. Well, maybe because it's the government, but the special effects in 2001 look better than the moon landing special effects if it's fake.
Yeah, assuming it's fake.
Because, like, there's stars in that movie.
Wait, but, like, someone... I don't know, that's probably not important then. I was going to say someone should look at, like, the reflection of the light onto their, like, helmet things. Like, where's that coming from? Like, do we see any faces, a camera? Or, like, you know, kind of like that. Do we see multiple light bulbs?
There's also, like, pictures they took of the moon, and, like, some of them are just repeats of the same picture, but, like, one of them zoomed in. And, like, so it's like, why would they just do that?
Yeah. That's so weird.
So I definitely think that's possible.
That's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who's that?
That's your dad. Oh, okay. Anyways, so like back to my way cooler, way more awesomer, much funner. What's more stupid grammar? Like, anyways, dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Dreams, paranormal activity, ghosts. You don't believe in it.
Sleep paralysis? Well, hold on. Let's slow down. I am now with like all of the stuff you've told me and all of the things like just over the course of time, I'm leaning more towards that there is some spooky stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I'm not completely convinced, and I don't think I'll ever be completely convinced
unless
it happens to me, and there's absolutely no way it can be explained.
And the thing is, I don't want to, like, if we were to do anything, I don't want to, like, do an Ouija board or summon a spirit. I want it to happen naturally.
Yeah, that'd be cool, but, like, even like, if we just went somewhere that's supposedly haunted.
Yeah, and, like, we saw a ghost, we saw Bloody Mary, like and we all died.
Bridge that the Post Malone and H3 went to, or the, there's another one. I forget what it's called. Suicide Forest. Yeah. We wouldn't pull a Logan Paul. But, and actually, I don't know if nobody's really said they've seen ghosts in there, more it's just the dead bodies.
Yeah. Probably smells really bad in there.
Probably smells really bad.
Yeah. How do people even deal with that, like, in movies and stuff? Anyways, like, back to what the hell were we talking about? Like, paranormal stuff. If I were to, like, wanting to convince you, I would do that. I would, like, go to a haunted place. I wouldn't want to summon a demon or a ghost, because I always feel that's, like, always evil. Just, like, by stereotypical general knowledge, like, I always feel that's, like, you know. So I wouldn't fuck with that. But, like, apparently, like, disclaimer, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. But my uncle, he apparently, like, used to mess with spirits. Not, like, mess with spirits, but, like, he used to be, like, one of those spiritist people. And I don't necessarily believe it, because anyone that goes public claiming they, like, go, like, talk to spirits, I always think it's fake. Because, like, who was that one magician that
David Blaine, are you thinking?
No, he was an old magician. I want to say it's Houdini, but, like...
him?
Like, he hated, like, spirit, like, you know, those people that, like, use the orb, or, like, those people that, like, think that they talk to spirits, and he always, like, called them out, you know?
Yeah. Oh, there was...
Like, do you know the flame one? I think you told me about that.
Not sure what you're saying there, but the, I watched a documentary on him.
But,
what's his name? Well, there's a... Hang on. An honest liar. I think this is the one. This guy. What's his name?
James
Randi. James Randi. I think he was the guy that always, like, debunked people who said they could contact spirits, or they were, like, magicians, or, like, real magic type thing. He always did that.
Remember how, like, our 7th grade science teacher thought that, like, Beyonce, Justin Bieber, like, those same celebrities were all part of the Illuminati?
I remember her talking about how Imagine Dragons were, like, Satanists because of their song Demons.
That's...
Which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's, like, the dumbest thing ever.
Because it's not actually talking about real
it's not.
satanic demons.
No.
It's like, what are you
really
talking
not.
about? In no world is
if I say the word demon, that doesn't mean I would suck Satan's dick and I'm a Satanist. Like, that's so dumb. Like,
I remember that being like, really,
yeah,
what the heck are you talking about? But
yeah.
Anyways.
And, like, you know the movie The Golden Compass, that old movie? Like, it's not super old, but, like, it's back there when I was young. Like, I went to a, private Christian school. Oh man, Christians gotta love Jesus, right?
Jesus for president.
Yeah, and, like, the movie, have you seen the movie?
A long time ago.
Yeah, but, like, the movie, like, so, like, each person has this, like, little pet, and it's called a demon. And, like, they're not, like, evil. They're not evil. They actually even talk. And they're, like, they're just, like, the spirit animal in the sense of the person. And, like, my school sent out, like, a bunch of emails to all the like, parents saying, do not watch this movie.
People like that are
Satanists
are so...
It says demon inside it. You know, kind of like that.
They gotta be so insecure with their beliefs, I guess. If you actually get freaked out to the point of sending letters to everybody.
Exactly. You know what?
Just because they use the word. Which isn't even
Don't say the D word.
It's not even like the original language it was written in. We translated it and we made up the word. Or not us. People who made English. And, like, English is only English that we speak
English
today.
Is a mutt language. It's a mix of everything else.
Yeah, and
it's not a pure language.
It's only been around for like 500 years.
Yeah, and I don't even understand why people want to say you can only speak English because when you speak English, you say at least like 2 words are from 2 completely different countries.
Yeah,
like it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Because English 1,000 years ago sounds English. I think it was invented probably like around almost 2,000 years ago, but. Like, Old English is a completely different language compared to... It's spoken differently, it's written differently, the characters are different, but it's still English. But only, like... It was only, like, right before Shakespeare time, like, 1400s, when English that we know today started being spoken and written.
Exactly.
And, like... And they still use, like, weird words that we don't use.
Exactly.
But that was when we started using, like, the, or he, or...
She, it, thought...
Yes.
Dirty whore. No, but yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. Anyways.
Okay.
Dreams, Kevin.
Yeah, sure.
Just go off on it, because I have my theories on dreams. What do you think of them? reasons? Do you think we travel to a different dimension? Do you think they mean something?
No, probably not.
Because there are theories out there that they claim that, like dreaming is considered a different dimension.
I mean,
which is total. I don't believe it, but I'm just saying.
I could see how you could call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to a different dimension when I.
Because like,
but there's no proof.
I've like wicked ass dreams I could tell for the rest of my life until I die.
Yeah, a lot of, like, for a long time I stopped having dreams almost altogether.
Yeah.
More like recently, actually, more like since I moved here, I started having them more. But I noticed how almost all of them are something directly related to like something I was doing earlier in the day or something I said.
Yes, because like...
And like before, long time ago, I just had random dreams that had nothing to do with anything. Like
Yeah. Because like scientifically speaking, like dreams are simply just electrical impulses in your brain that like your brain's experiencing different emotions, like scenes, experiences, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're just they're either like replaying them to put them in like long term memory or short term memory or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then like, what about the ones that literally, like, what if you're riding a dragon and the dragon says eat 70 carrots and then you wake up, like, what the fuck does that mean?
What's
like
that
you
mean?
know, like it has no meaning.
Yeah.
Just like the randoms.
Maybe it'll make you eat carrots more.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe your body. Maybe like your body has its own conscience and it's trying to tell you stuff through like.
I don't have too many thoughts on dreams and stuff like that, except because night terrors falls into that category.
Sleep paralysis, that juicy sauce.
But hold on, wait.
Okay, yeah. Like, what is your
Is
definition
there any-
of night terrors? Because like.
Well, that's just like extreme sleep paralysis. It's an actual like scientific. That's the scientific term for it. It's like when you wake up screaming and you see like figures all around, you think they're evil and malicious and like. And you have to, and you're still like technically asleep. And once you're waking up, you don't remember any of that most of the time. And like, so how do we know that? So I know you took psychology. Did they ever talk about sleep paralysis or that kind of stuff?
They did, and they went to very scientific, no theoretical, like spiritual kind of like.
And they said like, this is why it happens. Your brain does this.
Yes.
Happens like this.
Yes.
So like, well. If you remember, like, summarize what they said.
Very vaguely, it's basically when your brain doesn't get enough oxygen, and like it becomes awake.
Yeah, I've heard that. That makes sense.
But your body is like still asleep. So like,
yeah, that makes sense. But how do we know that?
That's you.
Same thing with drugs. I know we talked about this a little.
Ooh, juicy.
How
drugs.
do we know that?
I love my drugs.
When that happens. It's not only our brains.
Yeah, it's not only like scientific.
Changed. It's also because of that happening and because of the drugs altering our mental state or us not giving oxygen, we are like tapping into or seeing things that are there, but we normally can't see them, or things that are going on. We just like, how do we know that that's not the case?
Wait. Like. I was following you, but what do you mean that's not the case?
Like, how do we know that...
It's not just, like, your body is asleep and
it's not just... How do we know that it's not just in our head?
Like, how do we know that, like, it's real? We just can't see it in, like, our conscious...
In our normal... In our bodies, unless we, like, take... It just reminded me of a drug I heard about.
Percocet.
Called DMT.
Never heard of it.
Not used that much. Apparently, it's not that dangerous, but it's almost never like used. But
very like recreational use.
Yeah, it's a hallucinogen.
Just for funsies, boys.
And it's like an extreme. Like it's not that dangerous, but when you take it, it's an extreme. You see a lot of weird stuff. Yeah. But I heard, this could be wrong, but I heard like 90% of the people who take it, especially for the first time, they all hear a voice saying, "We're so happy you found this technology," which just creeps me out, like so much. Like, what if drugs aren't just like things that change your mental state?
Kevin, we're gonna have to become crackheads to find out.
Well, now if we tried it, of course that's what we'd hear because
yes, because we're thinking it. you can't be influenced by anything but just a blank mind.
Yeah.
Because that's like, it's kind of like,
Because otherwise it's not.
it's like, yeah. So like I heard there's like a mushroom or like a flower that like you hallucinate and you're totally aware that you're hallucinating. Kind of like lucid dreaming, like you're dreaming, you're totally aware that you're dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. That like,
But yeah.
like the fact that they all hear the same thing.
Or I'm not sure.
Or like
I tried looking it up and I couldn't find too many things about it, but I saw in a video somebody said that that's what a lot of people hear. And like
you know, like the dream, like, oh, someone like had that face on their desk and like, I've seen that face in my dream, and you know, like he passed on to his next like coworker and he's like, I've seen that, you know, like
maybe it's like thing. That, or like, I don't know, the we're so happy you found this technology thing really creeps me out.
We're so happy you found this technology. That doesn't sound very like malicious though.
No, it doesn't.
Sounds very welcoming.
It's like opens a door to like, there's so much more.
Yeah, there's more than just like, you know, VR and just like fucking, like, you know, there's more than just like a screen with a bunch of wires connected to it. There's actually like, you don't always need that, you know? You can just, I don't want to say it, but you can just use drugs.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, there goes our YouTube monies. I'm sorry, Kevin.
Promoting drugs.
Oh God, we don't. Kevin,
use
no.
drugs safely and legally.
Yeah, only take the ones from your doctor and your mommy.
Mm-hmm.
God. But yeah, like, there's more to that. Like, because, like, you know, like, the classic, like, so I used to be an anime, like, really into, like, some, like, animes, and it was really basic, like, you know, Naruto and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But, like, that just got me thinking, like, what if it was just, like, the world could either go two ways. One was into magic, or, like, spiritual and supernatural paranormal things. The other one was into technology. Like, it could go either way, you know? And, like, what if it's actually just, like, two forces fighting each other to influence the world? And it might not be, like, you know, like, magic and, like, technology. It could just be two forces.
That's interesting. I've never heard anything like that. Like, saying, because, like, 1,000 years ago, technology didn't exist.
Yeah, it was.
Also 1,000 years ago, obviously, no magic. Magic didn't exist, or maybe it did. But...
like, you know, those, like...
and we just happened to... and you're saying we just happened to...
go upon
figure out technology...
before
magic.
Because, you know, like...
because, like, if you told someone what a car was 1,000 years ago, they'd think it was magic.
They'd be bullshit.
Or witchcraft, or they wouldn't understand.
Salem witch trials, your ass, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just burn you at the stake.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, you know, like, those Chinese medicine shops, you know those?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and they have, like, the weirdest stuff. Like, parents... like, Chinese parents still believe in that. Mm-hmm. Like, they'll take their kid there and be like, I want my kid to be taller, smarter... faster. Yeah, I want them to have better eyesight. And like the witch doctor there will just put a bunch of random shit together, like cockroach legs, like fucking spider eyeballs. You know, like the weirdest stuff. Like, what if that's just like?
What if it actually?
What if it's real?
I think if it actually worked,
it would be noticeable.
Yeah, it would be noticeable. Do you believe in like psychics and stuff like that?
I believe in that. No, I don't. I believe that it's manipulation. That's why they say you have to be willing. You know?
Yeah, and I mean, there's some... yeah, I don't believe in it either, and I've seen some pretty great videos of psychics getting, like, exposed. Like,
yes.
Like, I want to know what happened to my daughter who went missing, or died suddenly, and the psychic's like, she was hit in the chest, or shot in the chest. And
they're like, haha, joke's like, on you, we never had a daughter.
They were like, but she drowned, or she was found in water, or something like that, and there was no marks on her. They like... I've seen plenty of videos like that.
Yeah.
But, like, I've also heard stories that are, like, somebody, like, on Reddit, again, because I love Reddit, somebody, like, went to a psychic when, right after their uncle, like, committed suicide or died of some disease, and as soon as and it was, like, the psychic was, like, a friend, or a friend of a friend's or something like that, and it was, like, as soon as, they walked in, the psychic immediately was like, your uncle's here. Or no, this wasn't because of the uncle. But the person who went to see the psychic never told anybody that their uncle committed suicide. As soon as she walks in, psychic goes, your uncle's here. He said, and she says, he committed suicide, and he wants you to know that, like, everything's okay or something like that. And the psychic starts saying a bunch of stuff that like that the person's never told anybody, literally never told anybody.
It's so weird.
So that's kind of like maybe, but
I mean, like
maybe I feel
like
true psychics would be more open about it almost. Like,
yes.
And more like less like, I mean, I understand everybody has to make a living, but they wouldn't. Some people like they could pay like $200. Like, I don't know if they make it a profession, because if you're psychic, like being psychic, you would almost see it as like this isn't like a skill I have that I can go into this profession because I have the skill. This is like something else, like something that I just have that other people would have, but they don't for some reason, and you don't understand why.
Like,
but I just happen to have it.
Yeah, like there's a thing out there. Like I think it's like the government has this open thing that's like it's like if you have a superpower, if you have a supernatural ability of any sort, come here and show us. And like it's been open for like what, like I think it was like 70 years. No one has come and like done it.
Mm-hmm. Did you know back in like the 60s and 70s, the government ran experiments on mostly kids to try and figure out mind control? And they never got anywhere as far as we know. But like for 20 years during Cold War, they tried to figure out how mind control worked. And I don't know what exactly they did to do that, but there was like a testimony of some girl that used to be one of the kids that was experimented on, that of like I'd be kept in cages and I'd be forced to do this, and sometimes I'd escape my cage and see like reports of them sending information to the government and stuff like that.
That's weird.
Creepy. That's like partially what Stranger Things was inspired by, the whole that thing, but I don't think they never got anywhere as far as we know.
Yeah,
if
I don't
they did,
think...
and I think that whole thing's declassified now, so unless part of it isn't, but
yeah, like,
and
that's creepy actually.
Yeah,
mind control. I'm not about that, bro.
I don't think. I don't know. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible either.
Okay, this is where we'll wrap it up then.
Yes.
Bye bye.